Okay. Yeah, jeez. I guess I'm streaming and I'm just, it's just a regular live stream. Got nothing shaking, nothing doing. Let me switch. I think that might be better. We'll see. Hi. I'm Watcher DM. I'm Gabriel. I guess I could go to just camera. Where's my camera? Chat. No. Oh no. Not browser. That's not where I'm going. What am I doing? So, talking head. Hi. Holy moly. I have a talking head scene. I can just click the button. This shows you how frequently I use OBS and or do any streaming at all. And I'm sorry for that. I apologize. It's my fault. Yeah. So I'm out of work today with back pain because I did a convention yesterday for a bunch of kids. TTRPG Kids Con in Vancouver, second one of the year. It was awesome. We had a great time. I'm going to turn the volume down just a hair on this. Let me know if you have trouble hearing or whatever. But yeah, so the Kids Con went great, except that last time and this time, I bent over a table, like leaned over a table to show something to someone on a dice table, a table that you roll on. And as soon as I tried to straighten myself up, my back was like, "Oh, what have you done? You foolish fool!" And then I made the mistake of sitting in a crappy wooden school chair. You know the one. And so this happened last time I did this in May. I was out for like 3 days from work. It was really brutal. So yeah, my back is all screwed up, which is awesome. But it does mean I'm in a distracted amount of pain. So I've taken some time off work. And since I have the time, I figured I would do some streaming and do some art. So I'm just going to stream while I draw some stuff for A Privatized Little Hell, which we are still working on. So yeah, that project was kickstarted earlier this year, and we're aiming for March, April shipping. So I've got a few pieces of art I need to kind of bust out here, and I've worked them a few times. I'm kind of taking another crack at them as I have improved my art skills over the years. So I'm going to try and do that, and also maybe just talk about some random stuff. I don't know, just stuff that's been going on. I did the 4D role play yesterday with. So I went to the con. I ran a game of Shadow Dark after doing a GM workshop thing in the morning for these kids, which was awesome. The kids are great. Invest in the youth. I think if you're gonna do something, put time and energy and money into the youth. They're pretty awesome. But and then after the con, from 9 a.m. to, I mean, I actually got there at like 8:15, but from 8:15 to like 3:30, I came home, and then I had a game with Table Runner Crispy, Better with Bacon, and Erudite DM, where we got to play some 4D D&D for about an hour and a half. And, bless Crispy for running that game. And he sounded like hell. Poor guy was definitely fighting a cold, dealing with some stuff. And so it's huge of him to fight through it and run the game for us anyway. I had a blast. I'm probably, I don't know if I'm going to be quite Crispy levels of not shutting up about it, but it was extremely exciting for me to be able to play at that level with other people who also are playing at that level or trying to play at that level, and kind of be introduced to it in that context. I had never done it before, where like there was a clear. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the only other live stream that I've done in the last like month. It's on my channel. You can go check it out on Table Runner Crispy's channel. as well. Let's see. I think I've got my pen here. I've got my brushes here. I'm gonna start with the rusty nib. I've fallen in love with the rusty nib brush, and I don't think there's anything I can do to stop it. I'm also gonna start with a red liner, just to kind of block in some of my ideas here. And the image. Let's see if I can. Okay, nope, cancel that. Yeah, whatever. I don't really need the margin here, although ultimately I think that this is like page margin, so get this kind of line here just to block this out. So this is my doing a quarter panel. This is where my subject is going to go. But I'm ultimately going to draw it on the whole page here, and then kind of shrink it down to fit. But this is about the right size. I'm going to make another layer. It doesn't show that. And the character in this page, which actually I think I can go grab from the current layout. Chop. Okay. Yeah, let me get the layout. Let me get the layout document here and try not to show you my whole file folder contents, all my secrets. Family room, adventure modules, privatized little hell. So Alicia worked her butt off on this to make this really cool new layout. I'm gonna pull it over onto the stage here so you can see where we're at with things right now. But I'm pretty excited about this. I think it looks really good. So obviously the cover hasn't changed. Get out of here! Nobody cares. But I really like this new kind of design sensibility that we're going with. It's a little more dialed in. God, I drew this like a billion years ago. It feels like finally you're putting it in a book. The Red Papists. These are maps are in progress from Joseph Stark, an artist that I was very fortunate to play some Mothership with, and I ran a cyborg game for him and his friend. More amazing art from the ever talented Lady Loralee. Man, crazy story. Lady Loralee's art has gotten so weird lately. It's really good, but it's like very cubist kind of, very strange proportions. It's really wild looking. So yeah, you can see all the pages here, and then I think so. I need a piece for this, but the piece I'm looking to fill in today is I want to redo this guy. I don't like this guy. I think he looks dumb. The hand looks weird. The background looks weird. He looks weird. Looks half-assed. I feel like I half-assed this one. So we're gonna take a reshot at him. Now that I'm looking at it though, I feel like I actually do not have a quarter page to work with here, because he's kind of got a lot of text. So maybe we'll just draw him in and see where we get, and kind of muck with it a bit. Let's start by get our head ball in here, and I think the last couple of times I've done this guy, I've always done him facing kind of this direction where he's looking out to the side. But I wonder if it'd be better if he was kind of coming at the camera, like if he's just like angry at the camera guy. Ears sticking outside here. Big stonking jowls. Then can I get a nice meaty, juicy pointing finger in here? You don't know who you're messing with. I think that's such a weird Such a weird gesture. I think, let's see, he's a pit boss who is a chain devil. Hmm. All right. No deleting. No deleting, just mucking around. We're just playing with shapes. We're just seeing if we can find something here that would work. There's kind of no wrong answers at this stage, so I don't need to worry about it too much. I'm gonna just blink it out real quick and try something else. Just try. I do kind of like the side profile. Kind of get this big meaty face, a big, the all the cool character of a profile. I just think so much more interesting than that kind of front on view. There, I think this is something I struggle with so much. It's like, what's the distance between the eye and the ear, right? Like, if you try to imagine where in the ball, the ear starts, it's supposed to be like around here somewhere. Oops. I think my Cintiq is starting to go. Big ol' fatty. Right about the time I started getting fat, I started drawing fat characters because my reference changed. Wrong with that. Yeah, let's get this kind of bloated. Like maybe too, this kind of visor here needs to zhuzhed up a bit. And I'm also thought I had a little thing that would show chats, but I should maybe go check because I don't see any chats and I don't know if anybody's chatting. That would show chats, but I'm gonna turn the volume off on that, let it run. Okay, now if you chat at me, I will see it, and if you do, I'll say something back to you. And also, if you want to chat at me, but you only want to do that if you see it up on my little screen here, you should tell me that and then promise to hang out with me and show me how I can make that happen using OBS because I'm kind of a noob. I don't know things. I don't get stuff. Uh, I'm a software developer, like by day trade. I guess technically I'm a software manager now, engineering manager, development manager. But yeah, like I don't, if it's not something I've had to like actually deal with, I do not know it. So, and I haven't really ever had the need to show chat anywhere. That goes that way. I like that a lot, actually. I think that kind of works. So let's shrink him down a little bit and give him a little more. Give him a little gesture over here. I think he's going to get some kind of. So I kind of like the idea of him, like. So this. If I can get the shot here. We got our big old stonking finger, Honestly, that's too long. It's got to be foreshortened. And also, it's kind of off to the side, which I don't hate. I don't think it looks right. Wiggle the finger. Oh, right, right. Just because it's because it's like he's going this way, right? Or is he? He's going this way. So realistically, it's just gonna be mostly gonna be the meat of this hand here. So like this bit here. Okay, that could work. So I think then that means he's doing this and doing this. And then the finger is just sticking up out of the back of this thing like that. Yo. And that could work. I guess I probably should tell people that I'm doing this. Can you tell I'm bad at streaming and being a YouTube nerd? I can tell. I have a videos channel on my Discord. You can come. You can come to my Discord. I think there's a link on my website. You go to watcherdm.com. There's a Discord link. You can hang out with me and my nerd friends and talk nerd stuff. Watch us make games. It's pretty fun. I can't complain. I mean, I can complain. Anybody can complain. Turns out you can complain about anything with the with the right incentives and a mouth. You can probably muster complaints. Um, man, it's a pretty phallic little finger there. In that. These old ham hocks. I think this also needs to go. Yeah, that right. Something like that. And then I think in the original illustration for this guy, I had something that was a little more like little horns, little horny horns, and he had little glasses and he had a cigar. Um, I think I'm gonna ditch the cigar. I don't like. I guess I wasn't really thinking about it at the time, but like, I don't want to put smoking in my adventure, despite there being a literal smoking room. Um, Maybe that's a reason to leave it in. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not gonna think about it too much. If he needs a cigar later, we'll give him a cigar later. God damn it. Well, it's a sketch. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's fine, Gabe. I also, I wouldn't mind having some music to listen to, but I feel like I always feel like that's such a gamble. You put on some music and everything seems fine, and then 2 weeks later, it's like, oh hey, that music was not cool, bro, and then they mute your shit, and like I don't know that I have anything really important to say, but I certainly don't want my video to be muted. That seems even worse. Worse than music, obviously, I guess. Uh, yeah, I don't know if anybody knows a solution to that little problem. I do. Would not mind having one. Huh. All right. So you know what they say when you see it and it looks okay, flip it around. See how wrong you are. And in Affinity Photo, you can do that with your hotkey. So Control Alt Shift Left. Oops, oops. Yeah, don't do that. So Control Alt Shift Left. You know what? Wow. Yeah, that doesn't look bad at all. Can you deselect this, please? Does not look bad at all. Maybe a little bit. I don't love the this area over here. Looks a little wonky. Probably because. Oh, come on, man. Yeah, let's finish shelving these eyebrows here. This guy needs his eyebrows to work. There's like this shape here. Let's read a little. Let's get some fiction in here. The pit boss. House always wins. The pit boss has a key to Tantalus Hell. He fights as a chain devil and has 6 barbed devils larping as cocktail waitresses that will back him up if he's attacked. Flavor the barbed devil's claw attack as cleavers. The waitresses have been assisting the damned in turning themselves into fleshy coins and are armed accordingly. The pit boss will fight heroes who bother him, his staff, his keys, or his clientele, and he will gladly let the heroes buy the keys off him for 5,000 gold pieces without putting up a fight. It's pretty cool. Keys can be stolen by savvy heroes, but the pit boss will not be fooled for long. Before the heroes have reached the door, the pit boss realizes he's been robbed and seeks revenge. Revenge! All right. Well, that's a fun little encounter. I like these little waitresses with the cleavers as well. Uh, let's see. Pound of flesh, man. You put it in the machine. You do a little roll. Try and try and win the jackpot. Jackass pot. Hey, bro, better with bacon. How's it going, man? Thanks for coming and hanging out. It's just doing some drawing for adventure module I'm working on. Uh, Trying to get my pit boss devil to look pit bossy. Cool, cool. I was amazed, man. Mike. The adventure was written for 5e. We actually wrote it like 3-4 years ago. And play tested it and stuff, and did a bunch of stuff for it. I kind of, I pitched the idea of doing it for another system, kind of reworking it for another system, because it's really just, it's the stat blocks. It's not that much work. And we may still do that in the long run, I think. But the Kickstarter was just for 5e, so we're doing the 5e version first, just to get it done. And actually, truth be told, I'm playing in a 5e game now every other Monday. I'll probably run 5e for some kids in 2026. I'm probably gonna do a little. I got the Heroes of the Borderlands box set and Stranger Things box set. Wow, I mean, the success is all, it's a gradient, right? It's like, think for us so far, the key to successful Kickstarters has been setting very reasonable expectations and being willing to lose money. Because I don't think anybody. Well, I guess I'll say it this way: nobody got into the RPGs for the money. You know what I mean? Like you got to do it because you love it, like because there's no money in it. You make how to make $10,000 in the RPG space. You spend 20,000. And yeah, 5e has its appeal. It's got its audience. Yeah, there's some fun stuff in it. I was like I was saying that other Monday. I played a dwarf. I have a dwarf wizard that is my character for our new campaign that we're playing. My buddy Andrew is running it, and I think we're going to go be 6 sessions is what we were locked into. So we're going to check back in 6 sessions to see if we want to keep going. Probably will. We usually do. But I tried doing the kind of 4D role play with my dwarf magic user. And I didn't really bother anybody at the table with it. I was just like, I told Andrew, I was like, hey, I want to try this. I'm going to do this during the session. So, let me know how it goes for you. And if you need more clarity or anything, let me know. And playing the 4D dwarf wizard in 5e was just as easy, right? It made it easier, actually, like, because I wasn't worried about thinking about the mechanics of anything. I wasn't having the weird conversations afterwards. I wasn't doing the math publicly. I was just issuing the result of die rolls and stuff. And all that stuff helps improve the speed of play. And I think, like, the biggest complaint I've ever had with 5e was always that it's become such a slog. It can be really challenging to get through, a combat in any reasonable amount of time. And yeah, it was awesome last night getting to play Shadowdark with y'all. And despite Shadowdark already being a pretty fast, it's a pretty fast game. In terms of combat resolution and exploration resolution, it's the built-in turn order mechanic I have found very useful. I ran one of the first times I hung out with Erudite, actually. It's like he had posted a video about not liking funnels. He was like, I don't ever want to do a gauntlet. He's like, I don't like gauntlets. But then, like, the first thing he said after was like, but I've never played one. I was like, well, dude, like, come on, man. Like, let me run one for you, and then you can complain and know what you're complaining about, like, at least, right? And I was kind of saying it in jest, but of course the offer was legit, and he was really cool about it. He was like, yeah, let's do it. So I ended up running. I think it's on my YouTube channel, and I ran it for him and Mark, and oh gosh, who was the other? I thought we had another YouTuber. There were 3 players. Oh, no, it wasn't another YouTuber. It was my buddy Kusa. Yeah, pull it up. It's fun. I actually was going to see if Crispy wanted to roast me on it because he's so good at that. He's so fucking good at that. Because, like, it was new people I had never played with before, running an adventure that I had written a billion years ago for, it's free. Like, you can just go download it for free to Cave of the Slumbering Crawlers. And it's just a little... it wasn't even designed to be a funnel, but it works as a funnel, like, really well, because you're basically dropped into the middle of the dungeon and you need to, like, kind of crawl your way out. It's just great. You're also dropped in there with kind of an unspecified number of other victims, and so if you die, one of them just comes out. Yeah, no, he seems pretty willing to to throw it down. It's great. I love watching his stuff, man. It cracks me up. It's a little weird, like, how often I'm like, oh man, that's exactly the same way I feel about, like, I've always had a really hard time watching actual play. And a lot of it has come down to many of the complaints he has articulated on his show. And then obviously I think, when I run my own game, or when I'm running a game or I'm playing in a game, I'm not really thinking about that stuff per se. So I am sure that um, you know that one shot funnel game, I'm sure I did things that I would be like now in retrospect be like, well, that was a stinker, like, and that's fine. Like, I have no problem with that. I just don't, I don't often have a lot of time to go back and kind of review my work, I guess. Uh, Honestly, because I kind of spend a lot of time doing the kind of publishing stuff. I try and do, like, obviously I'm doing the art here, but like I work with a couple of writers. I try and get them, stuff written, like kind of constant work going, and then trying to do layout for a bunch of different things. I think I've been doing like one or two game jams a month, basically. Play and watch games different. Yeah, yeah. It's a different perspective. It's been really eye opening. I really enjoy it. I'm stoked that I found it. So I'm excited to see where this all goes. Like, yeah, it's kind of been a lot. Like, well, so I've got a Patreon, which, hey, anybody who's watching, check out my Patreon, whatever. And so I try to make something once a month for the Patreon. That's usually like a one pager or something. And so if I can collide it with a game jam, that works pretty well, right? Because then I'm just like, well, I'm already on a compressed time schedule. I can make something fun. Actually, you know what? Let me just show off the stuff I made this month, because I did make some stuff. I did make some stuff this month. The one that is probably the weirdest is I made this adventure for Fengushela. I'm actually not sure how it's pronounced, if I'm being honest. But I made this adventure called Curse of the Conqueror. So I did the art here. Basically, I did all the illustration, all the art, and all the layout for this. I kind of used a template for the layout, and then I made some tweaks to it to make it work. This is free. You can get this for free on itch, is where it's up right now, and that's where I submitted this. It's for this game system called Fang. And the idea, I'll just show the whole thing. So it's spreads, layout. It's a weird kind of horizontal, the landscape layout digest, which is a little interesting. It's like the book design. Yeah, I think it's a pay what you want. Yeah, it's a pay what you want. Now, I will say it's designed for the Fang system, which is pretty unique. It's very interesting. So you might want to check out the system first to just see if it's something you really want to take a crack at. But I love my little zombie alchemist here I made. Drew this guy up. He was pretty fun. And basically, the idea is this vicious conqueror, Fangor, united the clans in conquest and has demanded tribute for years. And what the people don't know is that he's eating the treasure. His curse, his ambition, his greed has made him a treasure eater. And in eating the treasure, he has become a dragon. So he was a king who became a dragon. So there's kind of like a princess in a tower, but it's his daughter, and she's not like a prisoner. She's just there because she doesn't want to leave her dad's side. So there's like some kind of noodly, unclear motives kind of storytelling stuff. And I've got a typo. Yay! I think I fixed most of this stuff. This might be an old cook of it. In fact, it is, because it's this Fang template. Let me open the right one. The freshy fresh. That's right. I put it in. I'll do pages because this one's gonna be easier to see. Instead of spreads, double clicky. Yeah, treasure for XP, exactly. So yeah, so we've got this is the map. with the idea for the map was basically that there's like a mud moat that goes all the way around, and you can go over the drawbridge to the Conqueror's Gate. So that's like your main way in. But if you go down in the mud moat, there's actually like grates, and you can break in through one of the grates and go through this like the Dragon's Drain basically, which is like this foul kind of sewer system down there. The Conqueror's Gate's got some tapestries and stuff. Yeah, we've got some ghosts in the Cursed Court, so he has his vassals that he has like oaths to. They're all dead, but because they have unfinished business, they're kind of stuck. And so I've got this little, finish the business of the ghosts kind of sub game in here that's pretty fun. And if you clear those out and you do some other things, he becomes weaker. Like as a dragon, he becomes easier to defeat or dissuade. So there's kind of two ways to beat him. If you beat him up as a dragon, you can kill him, obviously. But you can also just convince him to abdicate. And if he abdicates his throne and he doesn't have any vassal oaths, he can his curse is gone and he's just kind of a dragon who doesn't need to eat treasure all the time. But yeah, I don't know why this guy just cracks me up. The zombie alchemist, he was drinking regeneration potions so that he could continue his work. Of course, that just meant that when he finally died, he just kind of started. I love the way it's written, actually. It's a well-preserved corpse lurches around aimlessly, pours nothing from one glass vial into another, shuffles notes around, has a pewter key to pine door and star-cut onyx. So yeah, just really simple kind of. He's a great little guy. Then there's a balcony above where the dragon's where his lair is, where like all the treasure is. So you can kind of get up there and like talk to him, and he'll like spit acid at you, but he can't get up there and fight you because he's too fat. And then the Dragon's Drain, obviously that's described. And then the Conqueror's Horde, this is the actual Fangor encounter. And then this is his daughter, Ophelia. She's up in the tower, and she's all bummed out. She's got some drawings and a little harp, and if you can convince her to do some stuff, that's pretty cool. And then here's the resolution, a little bard singing your praise. And then these are the guys on the back. These are the rulers. I had so much fun drawing these guys. It was so awesome. That was so much fun. But yeah, so these are the rulers like bringing their treasure to go drop off at the dragon. So yeah, that's the Curse of the Conqueror. That's this month's little adventure. Thanks, man. And then, so I told you, like, this is all stuff I did for October, right? Because like it's November now, but like this all released yesterday. And so during October, I also did Wick. I did the Beacon. Beacon is my shiz. I'm so jammed about this. I'm so happy that this worked out. But the Beacon is a class for Shadowdark that's like a torch utility tank class. Do I know who publishes it? Daiku Games. Gary Snow is the guy. You know what? Let me see if I can put the link somewhere. Well, actually, I think if you go to my itch page, like for that, for the Curse of the Conqueror, it says it's submitted to that jam, and so you can get there pretty quickly. I actually don't know if this thing's gonna let me post links. At the beginning of the stream, I was saying I'm going to show you pretty quickly. I'm not a live streaming YouTuber. This is like very foreign to me. So Jam's joined. Fun with Fang Jam. Let's bring it up here. Are we good? Yeah, I think we're probably good. The Fun with Fang. There's 5 entries. Some of these other entries are really good. Passion for Dummies and Hell's Kitchen. These all look great. It's always nice to have these. So yeah, you can go to this and get the Fangasella, I think. I don't know. That's how I'm saying it. I think I'll just call it Fang. Yeah, I think maybe that'll take you to the jam. But the beacon. So I was doing the Drawtober for Shadow Dark. So it's 31 days of prompts where I got to draw something every day, and each prompt was like, it started with like torch, and then idol, and like it's 31 of those things. And I was really struggling. I was like, man, how am I gonna do 31 different things and make them interesting and stuff? And so I landed on, I had already been kicking this character around, this Arthur Chuffback. In fact, I have a video of me making this character by name as a knave character. He's like a grave digger and an investigator. But I really like the idea of the character, and I have like little sketches of his little face because he's got these little dumb mustache and he's kind of a derf. And I was like, oh yeah, cool. I'll just draw this character, and I'll deal with him dealing with whatever the prompt is. So he kind of became my anchor for what I was gonna do for the thing. And so this is the first one. This is Torch. Was the first day. And then I was like, I had already been kicking around an idea about, for like a year now, I've been thinking about how I could do a character class for Shadow Dark that works with the torch mechanics and makes light carrying more interesting. And so the Beacon class was born. Torchbearers, trap finders, and dungeon delvers, beacons light the way for their allies into the darkness. And a little quote down here is, go ahead, attack the light. I'm not afraid of the dark. Arthur Chuffback, Beacon. So yeah, so this guy's awesome, right? And the fantasy here is that these guys wear armor. They get all armored up, and they carry torches, like maybe a torch and a shield. And I also have a lantern shield on here that they can carry that like lights slightly less. I think it lasts as long as it lights in near, not double near, because I think the normal lantern lights double near. So it's a little bit more like a torch in a shield. But because there's no official rules for attacking with a torch, I was like, okay, well, it's fair to change it so that in the book there's an example of using a torch as an improvised weapon. It does d4 damage, and I think a 3 and 6, so it's a luck roll, and it goes out. And I was like, okay, well, to make the torch work better for this guy, he knows how to swing it. It does d6 damage, and then if it's lit, the target is set aflame, and I define that. And then if the target rolls a 1, the torch goes out. So like if the damage is a roll of 1, so instead of having a luck roll separate from the damage, you roll the damage, and if you roll a 1, your torch goes out. I thought it was kind of a clever way to solve it. And then set aflame. Once a creature is set aflame, attacks against it have advantage because it's easy to see. And then it'll take 1 point of damage as the fire goes out on the next turn. And then so the different beacon talents are like, your gear slots can hold an additional torch. So like suddenly you're just really good at like loading torches. Or set aflame does 1 additional damage, so you kind of do an additional dot damage on the next turn. Your standard +1 to melee or attack or damage. And then you've got your stat modifiers, of course. And then this last one, increase the int threshold for Beacon in the Dark by 1. So Beacon in the Dark means that common enemies are attracted to you in your light. Enemies within near with int modifier less than 0 must target you when attacking. So you become a tank. When you're holding a torch, anything that's stupid will come at you. And as you increase it by rolling 12, if you keep rolling 12 on the beacon talents, then they become, even the smarter ones are like, well, this guy's kind of a threat, and they have to attack you. So it's a little bit weird because I think it kind of it robs the agency of the GM a little bit. Like it's okay, you're forcing a target lock, but I don't know. It's pretty fun. We've got some fun titles here. Little Arthur dealing with the ooze. So this was the prompt for ooze here. And then I also threw in some magic swords. So these were pretty cool. My buddy Austin had written these up a while ago for our blog. And they all have to do with the torch or the torch timer in terms of mechanics. So like these swords are all really interesting. Actually, they're really really good. So I asked him if I could put them in here, and he said I could. Of course, the lantern shield is described here, so the party can do that. And then this is the brain eater prompt from Drawtober. So again, Chuff back just getting shit on. And then yeah, we got our credits back here and some links to some of my adventures for Shadow Dark. And then yeah, just links to some of the other things that I do. And this is the idol prompt, which I love this one. He's just sneaking off a little idol. Anyway, I had a blast. The Drawtober was just such a huge win for me. It was so much fun. But yeah, that's that was and then I guess October 15th. So this is unique to my Patreon. My paid patrons get my real work. So this is the one page. So years ago we did Spooktoberween Spooktacular, which was a Halloween themed 5e adventure, and the original it's showing its age. It's very old, and I did not know what I was doing at the time. And so I've redone it here in this new style. It's a pamphlet adventure, and it's pretty short, but it is a fun little, it's a fun little adventure. I modified it to work for Shadow Dark. I put kind of everything in, and I like the look. I think it looks pretty cool. I had a lot of fun making this. So this is also available on my Patreon. You know, dude, it's funny you say that. Thank you, first of all, very much for the kind words. Practice, right? So like, I was okay. Like I've been pretty okay at drawing my whole life. But I had that thing happen that when I was a kid, everybody was like, "Oh, you're so good at drawing. You're so talented," they said. And that meant that I thought I wouldn't have to work at it. And so when it got hard and wasn't getting better, I was like, "Well, this is useless. What the hell?" And so yeah, so I didn't really practice like I would draw, but I would always draw trying to make the drawing look good. Like every time I would draw, I would be trying to make the drawing look good. And as soon as it wasn't looking good, I would give up on it. And so I had a lot of art that was kind of like started and not finished. And it was only in the last like year or two that I was kind of like, man, I really actually want to improve at this. Like, how do I do this? And I started listening to people, because that's not something you do when you're young. And I was like, oh, okay, so I need to just do the exercise of drawing without worrying about the outcome, right? Because that's the thing I don't think I had got. I'm sorry, I got dust on the camera here. It's bugging me. Sorry. And so I started doing. Gosh, you know what? I've got them right here. I'm gonna switch to camera mode and just talking head for a second, so I can show you guys some stuff. So, where's the nuts? Here we go. So, I picked up a bunch of these little. They're crappy. They're the worst. Little sketchbooks. They're not even sketchbooks. They're just like, it's like newspaper print. It's like just that really cheap brown paper. And I started doing daily. I go to proco.com and I would do like just 2-minute or 5-minute, or like 1 minute per. Basically, now I do 10 1-minute gesture studies in the morning and 10 in the evening before I go to bed. So this is like this is the one from June 7th. So that's the whole page from June 7th, right? And so the cool thing about it is because it's 10 minutes, or because it's 10 drawings and it's 1 minute each, it's 10 minutes of drawing in the morning and 10 minutes of drawing at night, which is about as low commitment as you can get. That's like, I used to smoke cigarettes. It's like, that's like my morning smoke and my evening smoke, right? And the crazy thing is, like, I've filled these up. I filled up a couple of other books because I wasn't using these originally. I actually have like a big sketchbook that I was using originally that I filled up. And so, yeah, dude, just having something that was like, oh, okay, I can do this in the morning, I can do this in the evening. I'm not worried about the outcomes. I'm just trying to get my hand practiced and get my eyes practiced. Because it turns out, I think being better at drawing is mostly about being better at seeing in a weird way. Like, I think like your brain tries to do this thing where it's like, well, I know what that is. Like, I can help you draw that. But your brain does not know how things are. It thinks it knows, but it's wrong. So, like, actually, the better way is to just like try and blank out and just draw what you're seeing. And then once you become kind of more practiced at that, you start getting, you start getting to be able to kind of do it without seeing it, which is tricky, but it's getting there. But yeah, so I've really come up a lot in the last year in terms of art style and capability. Still plenty of ways to go, but I've been enjoying it. It's been really fun. All right, I don't hate this at all. I do hate that a lot. Let's try one more. Let's try one more pose here. One more try at this guy. This is another thing I would have never done, right? Is like set it aside and start over and try again with, see if I can find anything else. Another thing I learned to do recently is to kind of like just do like the, thumbnail. So don't worry about anything. Just what is this guy's silhouette gonna do? Do I need horns here? Nah, don't love it. But just kind of doodling the smallest thing possible to kind of try and get the, answer some questions. Kind of like, do I want to do I want horns? What are horns gonna do for me? Does he even need that little visor? It's such a pit boss like staple. Dude, good luck on your meeting, my man. Yeah, anytime. Come back. Yeah. I don't like the horns. I think the horns are lame. He's also a chain devil. I feel like chain devils just have. I wish we could change him. Maybe we can. I'll talk to Austin. We'll just strip the chain because we're providing the stat block. We can just strip it out. I would save you some space too. You know what? Yeah, screw it. We're gonna go for this one. We're gonna go. We're going with it. Doing the thing. So this is my sketch layer. And this is gonna be my bigger layer. Nope. 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 Getting my horn stuck in my microphone. What you gonna do about it? Alright. I gotta say, it is really hard to focus when my back hurts like this. God, I love these pens. So good. Alright, let's stash this and look at how we're looking here. That eye seems kind of small. That eye seems kind of small. Oh, I didn't look. Probably wasn't looking. Probably wasn't looking. Here if I can. Maybe okay. Yeah, yeah, it's kind of squishy face, but that's fine. And this isn't the final draft. This is just exploration. This is. Hey, go away, assistant. Yeah, worry about the shading later. This. Say, maybe a visor is just a visor. Gives me a little more room to play with this big fat head of his. God, I love this freaking nib, man. So sick. Feels like I just get like free line character like every time I touch the pen down, you know? Alright. Let's see. Wait a minute. How did I get a new layer? Weird. So weird. Alright, whatever. Guess I'm just gonna merge these two. So, is coming up on noon. That means I've been doing this for about an hour. Usually that's about where I run out of juice. May have to peace out here in a minute. Let's try and get this hand done real quick, though. Oh, whoops. Come on. Like that. Ooh. Oh, bold move, Morty Smith. That's pretty good, though. Oop. Running my horns into it again. Oh, fuck my back, dude. All right. I'm gonna have to get up here in a minute. I think we got the hand. It's a good start on the hand. This shoulder in here. This neck down here. Do some tank top. Eddie Bauer. Is that a designer? I feel like that's a designer. Designer shirt. Oh, yeah. Tell me I'm wrong in the chat. All right, let's clap that. Yeah. Yeah, I think I like that better. If I look, so this was the, let's see, where's the original? Oh, it's here. You know what, let's do this. Say no. Yeah. Yeah, no, I like this a lot better. A lot better. All right. Maybe, yeah, maybe. Hmm. Kinda, oops, wrong. Let's try doing a little bit of color. Let's try getting some color in here. I want to try and work out some of these brushes. I'll be honest, like, I find color very challenging. Working in color on art is just, it's my bugaboo, man. I have such a hard time feeling confident in the changes I'm making with color because I just don't use it very often. Like, Seven Sealed Spirits is all black and white. Like, a good amount of my art is just black and white. The whole 31 days of Drawtober was all black and white. But there's some really nice brushes here, some really nice things. The ink washes I feel like are really nice. Like the heavy ink wash might work well for this. So let's try it. So go into layers. I got a fresh layer. I'm just gonna, okay, so that's what it looks like if I do just black. Let's get, oh wait, was that the purple? No, this is the purple. Okay, let's get the purple in here. I want to try this guy with some purple skin here. I'm just gonna block it in just to kind of get a baseline down. I'm gonna have to chisel this guy out anyway because he's gonna be flush with the book page, right? So he's gonna be, the art's gonna Be him in paper color, aka white. Okay, so this is one of the things I dislike about most of the brushes that I would be doing color with is that as soon as you lift your pen, they double. So you can't do like a smooth, even coat of color using these washes unless you do it all in one go. Which, I don't know, that might be kind of how it actually works in real life, but it definitely makes it pretty challenging. If anybody knows any hacks around that or ways to make to like tell the brush like, hey, let go, but start again at the same, like as though you had not been let go. I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing. Okay. Okay, so we got our kind of first pass here, and I think if I do, yeah, maybe that's fine. Nope. Smaller here. There. There. And then yeah, I guess just shades here. Interesting. Interesting. Oh my god. Okay. And yeah, I mean, I can just come in here and kind of clean up these edges, which will take a ton of work, but it can be done. Technically, could do it that way. Um, that's interesting. Did that kind of maxes out actually at a certain level of opacity? That's interesting. And then what I want to know is like, okay, so if I start coming in with any color, it's going to mix it. It's not going to put it on top. That's I think a really interesting um, point of data that I want to know about. So if I'm going to do any colors on top of this, I'm going to have to do them a different way. But I can, I think, also underneath it. I wonder what happens if I. Okay, yeah. So if I paint underneath it, I'm not making it darker. I'm just toning it. So that's really interesting. I might be able to get like I don't know if this is gonna work, so ignore me. Wow, that's super interesting. What a wild effect. 'Cause, yeah, where the purple is light, now I'm getting this kind of blue tone, bluish green tone that I like. It's literally just green actually. It's fully green. So then if I yeah, what happens if I now make another layer that's like a blue green in here? Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. I don't love that. I don't hate it though. Okay, so let's try yellow now. So if I go, okay, so this is gonna be warm. Use some of my warm tones here. Yeah, you can kind of. That's really interesting. Get some interesting kind of lighting effects there. And then I think, ultimately, whatever to all that stuff, I also am going to need a brush that does things a little more. It's not, I don't need a wash, right? And then in some cases, I'm actually just going to need maybe the brush pen, a crusty brush pen with like the green gray for these teeth. Oh, geez, are these? So there's our shadow layer of our teeth. The darkest part of the darkest tooth. And actually, can I just? Oh, my color chooser is over on another window. No wonder I haven't seen it. Where have you been all my life? You don't call, you don't write. Okay, yeah, it's this brush is a little too having a little too much fun. Let's try this one. Oop, oop, good food. Teeth are looking teethy. I think this is actually going to be a similar color to what I'm trying to do in here. Jaundiced eyes. Oh, I think I'm going to go over here a little bit. There's the eyes. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I want to do with this yet. Not 100% sold. I feel like I'm gonna try this. I don't know if this is gonna work, but I want to try something that kind of gives me um, yeah, it's not, that ain't the thing. Get out of here. I want something that gives me a little bit of transparency, but also applies on top. Maybe, maybe I was actually in the right space. Like, let me try Sumo. Sumi E. I don't know what this. I don't know what these are. I might as well pick a completely random thing because I don't know what I'm doing. But let's see. Okay. What happens if can I go bigger here? What happens if I color over? Okay, so I end up with a full color. What happens if I bring down the opacity of the layer and go? kind of what I was looking for here. Something that will let me just bring the warmth in. Let me kind of lazily drop in the those violet shadows, right? Is that reading? Anybody else getting this? I do feel like this Sumi brush though is really wanting me to like. I've either got to pitch really hard, just push in. I'm gonna scribble like crazy to get it to do the thing. Like over here, I feel like I'm working against it. Purple for this. Yeah. Oh, geez. Are you kidding me? This whole time? I'm a fucking idiot. Hi, guys. Did you have fun watching me just shove my face in the screen without actually showing you what was on my screen the whole time? Why didn't anybody call me out? Holy shit. Oh. I guess it's just that good to watch me just yak. You guys are great. You're the best. God damn it. I feel like an idiot. All right. It's old idiot o'clock. Time has come. Can I get? Okay, here we go. So I want orange over here. We're gonna put some orange over here. Put over here. I feel like. Hey, watch your DM. I gotta. Oh man. Well, that's so cool. Man, yeah, that 4D primer video, I feel like, what an opportunity, you know? Um, some of the cats over in that Discord seem really nice. And I might get to throw some fucking dice with those nerds, which, that can only be good. But yeah, I was really excited to play that Seer, man. The Seer class is just one of my favorites anyway. I've always thought it was just a really awesome implementation. You know, big shout out to Kelsey, and honestly the whole team over at Arcane Library. Like, I've never worked with Jess. I don't know anything about Jess, but I assume she is doing amazing stuff over there because amazing stuff is being done. But the adventure writing that I've seen from Kelsey has been awesome. And then contacting and connecting with Michael from Night Noon Games has likewise just been a treat. Like every time I've worked with them on anything, which has been sparse, but they've just been so fucking cool, man. Like what a just refreshing. I don't know. I don't know if anybody else had this experience, but I've been gaming for like 35 years or something since I was like 12, right? And I have been the guy that you didn't want to game with, and I have been around the guy that you didn't want to game with. And it's not uncommon. It's not infrequent, you know? And it's not like, I don't want to disparage people, you know? I don't want to yuck anybody's yum, but like, there's just, yeah, some people, you know, don't vibe. And they're not, yeah, they're not who I want to play with. They're not who I want to chill with. And it made me nervous for a long time about getting into the community of role-playing games online. Like, I played with my friends, you know, I played with the people that I met who were interested, that I thought were, you know, there were people I would already hang out with. And I was like, well, if you guys are interested in D&D, let's play some D&D, you know, and that was it. And then like getting into creating, honestly, I only got into creating because I was like, you know, I saw the books for 5e and I was like, this seems like a lot. I don't want to read 250 pages to learn how to run Curse of Strahd or whatever. Like, why is this a 200-page book when I can run a campaign for my friends on 10 pages of notes and a couple of maps that I drew? Like, what's the disconnect? And so I was like, well, let me find out. I will figure it out. I will learn how adventures are written and learn how they are made, and I will go through the process and the exercise of figuring it out. And so that's been kind of the journey for the last like 5 years, has just been like, what don't I know? How can I find out? And making stuff and just kind of constantly trying to push myself to like learn each of the pieces that I don't know. And in a lot of cases, that's meant hiring people, because I don't want to, I don't want to make bad stuff. Like, I never, I never wanted to flood the market with garbage. And I think, in some level, I kind of accidentally did. Like, some of the early stuff we made, just my naivety and not really knowing, led me to make some stuff that I was like, man, look at it now, and I'm like, ooh, yeah, that I can do better now. I should. So I'm going back through and kind of I actually plan on redoing basically all the back catalog to support Shadow Dark and Cairn and a bunch of other systems and stuff. But yeah, I think Shadow Dark, the community over there, has really shown me like it's okay. Like, these are the nerds you want to hang out with. They're cool. It's okay. You're not gonna be grognarded to death or attacked for being, brown or queer or any of the things that I am. There's a place for me at the table, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, pretty awesome, guys. So thanks. Shout out to Arcane Library for being dope as fuck. Where that came from. What am I doing here? Let me see. What am I doing here? You know what? I kind of like this. I think this is. I feel like it's not super polished, but I feel like it's working for me anyway. That's right. Man, these controls are a little weird. Something I'm gonna have to put the time into figuring out. Fresh layer. Slap this on here and see if we can. It's gonna have to be darker. I think what I'm gonna do here is the same. Right? I'm gonna fill it up nice. I could have just used a regular flat brush. This isn't. I'm not getting any value out of the brush on this. I'm gonna just make this tone there. Like, I feel like I kind of want to get a little more depth. Go back to my ink washes here. Oop. Yeah, that was bad. All right. Well, you know what? Let's not work the devil to death. I'm gonna need to come in and clean this up anyway. I haven't even saved yet. Oh my god. What a fool I've been. What a cat. What is he doing? All right. Adventure modules, Privatized Little Hell. Art, Gabriel Hernandez. This is going to be, I think, let me get it up here. So page 33, Pit Boss. Page 33, Pit Boss, Splat. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'll take it. All right. So I'm gonna have to work on this some more. I'll probably do that. I'll try and do that on stream. I don't know. It's fun hanging out. I really appreciate you guys chilling with me for the time that you did. And yeah, I guess this is my opportunity to shout out. Like, if you want to check out some of the stuff I've made over the last 5 years of TTRPG madness, you can go to watcherdm.com. You should totally sign up for the mailing list over there because it's free and we ship like kind of ridiculously useful shit like twice a week, or I'm sorry, every 2 weeks that you kind of can't get anywhere else. Like we don't really post it anywhere else. So like there is unique bespoke stuff on the mailing list. So you should grab it. There's also a couple of free adventures for the first, like when the first one when we first signed up, it was like 4. And then yeah, like if you want to support, like you can go purchase any of our products over on itch, of course at watcherdm.com or on DriveThruRPG, so find me there. Like and subscribe, I guess, if you want the videos. I make pretty consistently every week, right? I've got the tutorial video I do on Sundays, and then I've got the flip through review video I do on Tuesdays. I think I've got Old School Essentials coming up on the flip through review stuff pretty soon, and then tutorials. We are winding down the Tome of Adventure Design, but I just got my Tome of World Building book, so that's going to be the next one on the how to use a generator kind of tutorial thing, which honestly is just an excuse for me to kind of muck around with it and roll dice on it, because like I don't think I would use it otherwise, so I just wanted to like understand it better. But yeah, and then I guess if you want to be super dope, like my buddy Mark, so Mark Seesig over at Schadenguard, I give him a shout out. He runs a Shadow Dark like West Marches Discord that absolutely slaps. It's like the busiest West Marches Discord I've ever seen. But he's a Patreon of mine, which is so cool and so kind. But yeah, if you come join him on my Patreon, you can get some access to some exclusive stuff. I've got a couple of adventures there that are only for my patrons. And of course you get early access to my weekly videos over there. And yeah, I think that's all the shilling I've got to do. But yeah, I don't know. I hope you guys like the stuff that I make. I'm going to keep making it kind of regardless. So don't take that to the bank. I'm going to go let my back rest and try and grab some lunch, though. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. Much love. Peace.